I want you to hear me with both ears open. Confusion is not who you are. It is what you are experiencing. It is a momentary signal, not a lifelong sentence. I got news for you. Your designer did not stamp lost on your birth certificate. You were not born to wander. Eagles don't drift. Eagles decide. Write that down. Some of you walked into this room carrying fog. It's on your relationships. You don't know if you should stay, go, reconcile, or release. It's on your calling. You feel a tug to build, to lead, to write, but the path looks like smoke. It's on your money debts talking loud, opportunities whispering. It's on your church, a lot of voices, not enough vision. It's on your business, sales stall, staff confused, competition roaring. It's on your heart, betrayal, cut you, burnout, drained you. And you're asking, is it me? Hear your coach. It's a season, not an identity. Don't pitch a tent in the storm. Storms are for passing through. Say it with me. I am not confused. I am encountering confusion. Here is the correction. Confusion is not your jail. It is your alarm. And alarms do two things: wake you up or annoy you. You choose which. Either you use confusion as an excuse for paralysis, or you use it as a doorway to understanding. Either you let confusion name you, or you name what is confusing you. Either you circle the same mountain for 40 years, or you stop, you ask, you learn, and you move. Write this down. The power is not in the fog. The power is in the interpretation of the fog. Time is speaking to you, and time is the only resource you cannot negotiate with. You can borrow money, you can rebuild a business, you can mend a friendship, but you cannot add a single day to your life. Before you die, hear the urgency. Do not donate your years to wandering. The cemetery is full of people who waited for the feeling of clarity instead of pursuing the discipline of understanding. I don't want you to add your book, your company, your song, your ministry to that wealth. Not on my watch. Give yourself a hand for deciding that right now. So what do we do first when confusion knocks? We do not panic. We do not post. We do not poll the pigeons. We pursue understanding. Please write that down. The first kingdom step to regain momentum is understanding. Understanding gives direction. Direction produces motion. Motion builds endurance. Say with me, understanding first. Look at your neighbor and tell them, understanding restores my feet. In a moment, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, how to define what you are facing, how to filter the voices, how to re-anchor in purpose. Because when purpose walks back into the room, confusion must leave. But right now, settle this in your spirit. Confusion will not own your name. You were born for precision, for focus, for altitude. Eagles don't wander, they aim. And today, we aim by understanding. I want you to write down, understanding restores direction. Clarity is a product, not a mood. Say it with me. Clarity is a product. That means it can be produced on demand through process, not waited on like weather. In the kingdom, order determines outcomes. The Creator never begins with hustle. He begins with wisdom. He does not start with commotion. He starts with comprehension. Please write this down. Understanding precedes faith for action. You cannot believe consistently for what you do not understand, and you cannot sustain what you do not understand. Faith without understanding becomes presumption. Action without understanding becomes exhaustion. I got news for you. Noise is not counsel. Speed is not progress. Activity is not productivity. Opinions are not strategy. Some of you have been running hard, but you have no map. No matter how fast you go, if you don't know where you're going, you only arrive at fatigue. Movement without meaning creates frustration. That's why your heart is tired. It's not just the load, it's the lack of why. Write this down. Confusion grows where voices multiply and definitions disappear. Too many voices, too little definition. The result? Spinning wheels, smoking brakes, empty tank. Consider the king's pattern. Purpose precedes creation. Understanding precedes execution. And instruction precedes momentum. That's why your first step is not a decision. Your first step is a definition. Please hear your coach. Do not rush to decide before you define, or you will spend months repairing what one moment of understanding could have prevented. Say it with me. Definition births decision. Look at your neighbor and tell them, don't choose until you can name it. Let me work the word for a moment. Understand. To stand under a thing until it stops moving you. That means you refuse to be pushed by panic, dragged by pressure, or seduced by applause until you have stood under the weight of meaning long enough to carry it with strength. Eagles do this. They do not flap with pigeons. They circle. They study the currents, they read the wind, and then one decisive tilt they ride. Understanding is that tilt. It turns flapping into gliding. It converts sweat into lift. Write this down. The kingdom sequence for momentum is understanding, direction, decision, discipline, motion, endurance. Break the sequence, and you break yourself. Increase the noise, and you increase your confusion. Filter the noise. Define the terms, and purpose will interpret your season. I want every eagle in this room to put this in your phone, your journal, your spirit. The first kingdom step is understanding. Not a meeting, not a poll, not a post. Understanding. Say it again. Understanding first. And to the one under pressure. Listen carefully. Pressure cannot destroy what understanding has established. Understanding gives you the why that survives the wind. Today we start the protocol. We will not decide in the dark. We will not sprint without sight. We will pursue understanding until direction appears. And when direction appears, momentum returns. And when momentum returns, you endure. Give yourself a hand for choosing order over noise. Now let's get surgical. Write this down. If you don't name it, you can't lead it. Definition is deliverance. Most of you are not fighting giants. You are wrestling shadows. You are swinging at fog. And fog will make a strong man tired. Confusion persists not because it is powerful, but because it is unarticulated. A problem that has no name has permission to roam. When you define it, you confine it. Please write that down. The Creator gave humanity the privilege to name things as a sign of dominion. Leadership is linguistic before it is logistical. You cannot shepherd what you cannot say. I got news for you. Silence is not spirituality. Vagueness is not humility. Clarity begins the moment you put words on what your heart has been carrying in groans. So I want you to do a simple practice right now. Take out your phone, your napkin, your palm if you must, and write one sentence. I am confused about because force specificity. Not a paragraph, one sentence. Examples. I am confused about my job because my role changed and expectations were never clarified. I am confused about this relationship because I am afraid to ask direct questions and prefer hints. I am confused about my calling because I stopped measuring progress and started chasing applause. Say it with me. Name it to lead it. Confusion wears costumes. It will dress up like tiredness. I just need a nap. It will disguise itself as busyness. I just need a better planner. It will masquerade as procrastination. I'm waiting for the right time. It will show up as anger. I'm mad at them, when it is really an unnamed decision you've been avoiding. It will creep in as spiritual dullness. I can't feel God, when in fact you have not asked God a clear question. The mask is not the man. Don't medicate what you should define. Sleep will not heal a question. Schedules will not fix a fog. Only understanding. Write this down. You are either managing facts or managing feelings. Confusion expands the moment. Feelings replace facts. Facts, the numbers, the dates, the commitments, the constraints, the authority structures. Feelings, the fears, the shame, the flattery, the craving for approval. Both matter, but only one should lead. Make 2 columns today, facts and feelings. Put the truth in ink and the mood in pencil. Leaders let facts drive and feelings ride. Eagles do this. They don't call every wind doom. They call some winds lift because they've defined the weather before they fly. Let me work the word define. Define. To set the fence, to draw the boundary where the problem must live and cannot trespass. When you define your confusion, you shrink its territory. It no longer leaks into your marriage, your money, your ministry, your mind. It is fenced, faced, and now it can be led. Say it with me. Definition is my fence. And here is the bridge we must cross next. After you name the confusion, you must identify the source of the voice behind it. Every confusion has a messenger. Sometimes it is fear. Sometimes it is offense. Sometimes it is flattery. Sometimes it is fatigue. Sometimes it is wisdom, warning you to slow down. We will test those voices. For now, write this last line. I am confused about because, and give that sentence a voice tag. Who said that to you? Your history, your hurt, your hope, your father. We are about to find out. And when we do, clarity will guard your borders. Give yourself a hand for leading by language. Now that you have put a name on your confusion and tagged the voice you think you're hearing, we must do the hard work that eagles never skip. Write this down. Not every voice is qualified to interpret your season. I got news for you. Many people speak from their wounds, not your purpose. From their disappointment, not your design. From their fear, not your future. If you let unhealed mouths narrate your life, you will inherit their scars without their lessons. Say it with me. Confusion multiplies where counsel is unfiltered. Eagles always test before they trust. Please write that down. Trust is not a gift. Trust is a result of time and test. Pigeons are impressed by noise. Eagles are impressed by fruit. So I want to give you what I call the eagle filter for counsel. 3 questions. Number 1, fruit. Has this voice produced consistent results in the area they are advising me? Not stories, not selfies, fruit. Number 2, character. When pressure squeezes them, does integrity stay or excuses spill? Because advice infected with compromise will carry the same virus into your life. Number 3, alignment. Does this counsel align with my assignment and with the principles of the kingdom, or is it merely loud, trendy, and flattering? Volume is not validity. Decibels are not data. Say it with me. Fruit, character, alignment. Some of you are in fog, not because God is silent, but because your circle is crowded. Too many channels open at once turns guidance into static. Write this down. Reduce the inputs and the message gets clear. Practical step, set a boundary window right now. For the next 24 to 72 hours, limit your inputs. No polling the pigeons. No throwing your destiny to a group chat. No scrolling for prophecy from people you would not trust with your checkbook. In that window, seek 2 voices only. The creator who authored your purpose and one proven mentor whose life bears fruit in your lane. That's it. You will feel the addiction to validation shaking. Let it shake. Boundaries are not cruelty. Boundaries are clarity's bodyguards. Test the motives behind the messages. Ask, is this counsel pushing me toward fear or toward faith, toward flattery or toward formation, toward shortcuts or toward stewardship? If the advice requires you to betray your values to get a result, it is not counsel, it is a bribe with a microphone. And remember, patterns preach louder than promises. If a voice has a pattern of unfinished things, chaos in close relationships, and constant emergencies, do not let them define your next decade. Tell your neighbor, test before trust. I want you to hear the lion in my throat and the warmth in my heart. You are too valuable to lease your mind to random traffic. You are an eagle. Eagles fly above chatter. They are not managed by the barnyard's mood. When you filter the voices, confusion begins to evaporate because clarity is protected by boundaries. Say it with me. Boundaries protect clarity. Now, even after you filter, you still need an anchor to interpret your life. Who interprets the season? Return to purpose. Purpose is the original definition of your existence. It is the lens that makes the landscape make sense. When purpose walks back into the room, every other voice must take a seat. Give yourself a hand. Your borders are getting guarded, and your direction is about to return. Purpose is not a mood. It is the manufacturer's intent. Write this down. When purpose is unknown, misuse is inevitable, and misuse breeds confusion. If you don't know why a thing exists, you will use it for what is convenient, not for what it was created, and then you will blame the thing for failing when it was your ignorance that voided the warranty. I got news for you. Your life came with a manual. The Creator never shipped you to earth without a design spec. Your gifts, your temperament, your burdens, your holy irritations, those are not random. Those are hints from the manufacturer. Say it with me. Purpose explains me. Think about it. If you pick up a screwdriver and try to use it as a hammer, you will break wood, strip screws, injure your hand, and then conclude that tools are dangerous. No, ignorance is dangerous. And some of you have been treating seasons, jobs, or relationships, even your own body, like multi-tools for other people's agendas. And now you're calling your life confusing. Confusion is what happens when purpose leaves the room. Bring purpose back, and the same facts rearrange into meaning. Same wind, new wings. Now, I want every eagle to do an exercise with me. Please write this down. One problem, one people, one priority. Who were you sent to solve for? Who were you sent to serve? And what were you sent to build? Make it a sentence. I am sent to solve for by prioritizing. Examples. I am sent to solve disorganized vision for emerging founders by prioritizing systems that serve people. I am sent to solve shame for teenage girls by prioritizing identity formation through mentorship. I am sent to solve financial illiteracy for blue-collar families by prioritizing simple education and trust. Clarity increases when specifics increase. Say it with me. One problem, one people, one priority. Beware of purpose drift. Write this down. When you chase applause, compare callings, or imitate trends, you inherit confusion you didn't create. Applause is a weather report, not a compass. Comparison is plagiarism of destiny. Trends are waves made for surfing pigeons who never leave the beach. Eagles read currents, not crowds. If you measure your assignment by their reaction, you will abandon the path that feeds your soul for a stage that starves your future. Tell your neighbor, stay in your lane. I must speak to your legacy. The tragedy is not death. The tragedy is unexpressed purpose, books buried, businesses unborn, songs unsung, solutions entombed. The wealthiest spot on earth is still the cemetery because confusion delayed too many decisions until time closed the door. Not you, not this room. My greatest dream and wish for you is that you will not add your assignment to that wealth. Die empty, not confused. Give yourself a hand for choosing clarity over crowds. Now here the transition. Purpose gives direction, and direction demands a decision. Understanding that sits in a notebook becomes information. Understanding that walks becomes transformation. Say it with me. Purpose is my anchor, decision is my sail. In a moment, we will convert this definition into one clear, obedient step, because eagles don't talk about flight. They jump, they catch the wind, and they rise. Confusion has no authority where purpose is clear. Now we activate. Write this down. You don't need the full map. You need the next instruction. In the kingdom, clarity often arrives in motion. I got news for you. Revelation respects responsibility. Light shows up for the feet that move. Stop waiting on a helicopter view when God already gave you a lamp for your next step. Say it with me. Next step now. Understanding that does not become obedience is still confusion with a diploma. Please write this down. Wisdom is visible. You can see it on a calendar. You can hear it in a phone call. You can measure it in a budget. You can feel it in an apology. You can file it as an application. Stop hiding behind spiritual fog language. I'm sensing, I'm praying about it for the 7th year. I'm waiting for peace, and start using obedience language. I called, I met, I reconciled, I submitted the plan, I cut the expense, I wrote the resignation strategy with dates. Eagles don't romance decisions, they marry them. Here is your protocol. One decision, one metric, one time. Choose one measurable next step and put a clock on it. One call to the person you've been avoiding by 3 p.m. today. One meeting on the calendar with the stakeholder before Friday. One apology, direct and clean, no explanations, no defense tonight. One budget change, cut the subscription, raise the savings, effective this pay cycle. One resignation plan, 3 milestones, 90 days, lined up with integrity. One application, fill it, send it, and stop editing your courage. Say it with me, one clear step. Write this down. Confusion feeds on delay. Delay is a decision disguised as caution. Some of you are calling it waiting on confirmation, but it is really protecting my comfort. I love you, but I will not flatter your fear. Indecision charges interest. Every day you delay, the cost goes up. Opportunities expire. Relationships cool. Energy leaks and temptations multiply. Either you pay the price of decision today or you pay the penalty of drift tomorrow. Tell your neighbor, choose your bill. And hear me, perfection is not the prerequisite for movement. Direction is. If your step aligns with purpose, take it. If it honors your values, take it. If it can be measured, take it. If it requires integrity, take it. You will correct as you go. Airplanes are off course most of the flight and still land on time because the pilot keeps making small obedient adjustments. Do the same. Write it down. Adjust in motion. I must prepare you like a father. As soon as you move, resistance will speak. Expect it. Storms, thorns, pressure phones that don't get answered, budgets that tighten, critics that emerge, fatigue that whispers turn back. Do not interpret training as a traffic sign that says stop. Eagles feel the same wind pigeons call a problem, and they call it lift. So when the wind rises after your decision, don't say maybe I miss God. Say I am in training for altitude. We will deal with that storm next, but for now, make the call, send the email, fix the number, schedule the meeting. Give yourself a hand. Confusion is breaking because understanding just put on boots. Say it with me. Obedience is my proof, and my next step is now. Now, when you take that obedient step, don't be shocked when the wind starts talking. Anxiety rises. Inbox pings multiply. Your sleep gets tempted, and old doubts try to throw a reunion party in your head. I got news for you. Pressure is often proof you are about to rise. Write that down. The presence of resistance is not the absence of direction. It is the gym where your understanding grows muscle. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. Say it with me. Training, not trouble. Storms are not sent to stop you. Storms can lift you. Eagles love storms because the turbulence produces thermals that other birds fear. Scientists have studied this. When the winds intensify, the eagle locks its wings, tilts its head, and lets the very storm others escape become the elevator to higher altitude. Same storm, different species, different outcome. Either you use pressure for depression or you use pressure for altitude. Either you drown in panic or you draft on purpose. Tell your neighbor, choose your wind. Let me name the emotion so you don't misinterpret it. When you choose the next right step, your body releases adrenaline, your heart speeds up, your breath shortens, your hands feel warm. That is not always a prophecy of danger. Sometimes it is simply the fuel of new altitude. Your heart is a pump, not a prophet. Do not baptize adrenaline as wrong decision. Write this down. Anxiety after obedience is a normal signal that your life is stretching into a bigger assignment. Stretch is not sin. Say it with me. I will not misread my stretch. Now hear your coach. Clarity is not just a moment. It is a lifestyle that must be sustained by discipline during the storm. Sleep is not laziness. Sleep is strategy. Protect your hours like inventory. Prayer is not filler. Prayer is calibration. Your compass resets in the presence. Counsel is not weakness. It is wisdom. One clean conversation with a proven voice can save you 6 months of wandering. Planning is not control. It is stewardship. Put your priorities on paper so the wind cannot rearrange them. Consistency is not glamorous. It is royal, small, obedient behaviors repeated daily outfly sporadic bursts of zeal. Write it down. Discipline preserves direction in pressure. Practical protocol for a windy week. Shorten your list to essentials so you keep the main thing the main thing. Lengthen your morning quiet by 15 minutes to anchor your spirit before the noise starts. Schedule your energy, not just your tasks. Put important work in your strong hours. Speak fewer words to more people. Storms are not for broadcasting, they are for managing. Close your digital windows 2 hours earlier this week. Blue light is stealing your altitude. And review your why. Every night purpose rehearsed becomes panic reduced. Say it with me. Order in the storm. And here is the transition we must make when storms come. You don't need more panic. You need renewal. The first place understanding visits is stillness. Do not chase every gust. Withdraw to regain strength and perspective. Eagles retreat to the cliff, face the wind, and reset their feathers before they ride again. That's our next move. But right now, lift your head. Pressure does not cancel purpose. It confirms you are in training for higher altitude. Give yourself a hand for not running from the wind. Say it with me. I rise in the storm. Now we return to the cliff. Write this down. Understanding returns fastest when you reintroduce stillness, because clarity requires quiet to be heard. I got news for you. Confusion is loud, but wisdom whispers. Noise multiplies options. Quiet reveals direction. Silence is not empty. Silence is full of answers, waiting for the wind to die down. Say it with me. Be still to hear. Please hear your coach schedule solitude as strategy, not luxury. If CEOs schedule board meetings for billions, then you must schedule a board meeting for your soul. Put it on the calendar like payroll. Guard it like oxygen. The first 20 minutes after you wake and the last 20 minutes before you sleep are prime real estate. Don't lease them to strangers. Turn your bed into a briefing room with the Creator. Eagles do not begin the day in the barnyard. They start on the cliff, scanning the currents, listening for lift. Write this down. Quiet is my competitive advantage. Now I want to give you a 8-hour reset protocol for clarity. Reduce inputs, close the social media faucets, mute the group chats, turn off the rolling news that profits from panic. If it won't matter in 48 hours, it can wait 48 hours. Increase reflection. Journal, 1 page, morning and night, with 3 prompts. What did I learn today about my assignment? Where did I obey? Where did I delay? What is the next right step tomorrow? Restore your body. Sleep 1 extra hour. Hydrate like you're carrying fuel to altitude. Take a 20-minute walk in daylight with no earbuds so your mind can breathe. Eat food that doesn't fight your focus. Say it with me. Reduce, reflect, restore. Write this down. Confusion often reveals scattered priorities. Quiet clarifies the one thing that protects your purpose this week. Not 10 things, one thing. Choose the one action that, if protected, moves everything else forward or makes everything else easier. It might be 2 hours of deep work before you answer anyone, or 1 difficult conversation you commit to complete, or 1 training block that upgrades your competence. Put that one thing in ink. Give it a time. Guard it with boundaries and measure it daily. Tell your neighbor, one thing this week. I must correct a myth. Eagles fly alone does not mean isolation. It means independence from crowd pressure and emotional contamination. It is the freedom to hear God without 50 opinions shouting over him. It is the discipline to love people deeply without handing them your steering wheel. Write this down. I am accessible in love, but unavailable to confusion. You are not rude. You are responsible for your assignment. Protect your altitude. Now, final move. Lock the lesson into language. What you do not declare, you will not discipline. Write your sentence. This week, my one thing is, I will protect it by, I will measure it by, I will review it at, put it where your eyes live. Mirror, phone, desk. Repeat it morning and night. Speak it before the meeting. Whisper it when the wind rises. Say it with me. I am a person of understanding. I move with direction. And as we step into our closing commitment, we will declare it together until your heart believes what your mouth repeats and your feet obey what your spirit knows. Understanding is your inheritance and direction is your discipline. Say it with me. Understanding is my inheritance. Direction is my discipline. Again, louder. Understanding is my inheritance. Direction is my discipline. I want you to write this in your spirit because your mouth is the steering wheel of your life. You have spoken confusion long enough. Today we replace the soundtrack. Repeat after me. I am not a wanderer. I am a wise builder. I am not a victim of voices. I am a steward of counsel. I am not delayed by doubt. I am directed by purpose. I am accessible in love, but unavailable to confusion. Give yourself a hand. This is not hype. This is reprogramming. Now let us seal the protocol. so you can repeat it under pressure. Say it with me. I define it. I filter it. I return to purpose. I take one step. I reinterpret the storm. I recover in quiet. Again, define, filter, purpose, step, storm, quiet. That is your clarity cycle. Write it down so you don't negotiate with fog at midnight. When confusion knocks, you will not faint. You will follow a process. You will put words on the problem, fence it, and refuse it permission to roam. You will test the voices, fruit, character, alignment, and send the pigeons back to the barnyard. You will bring purpose back into the room. One problem, one people, one priority until the noise bows. You will make one measurable step by a time on a date. You will treat pressure like thermals. Lock your wings and rise. And when the wind ties your bones, you will retreat to quiet, reduce, reflect, restore until your compass resets. Tell your neighbor, I've got a protocol. I got news for you. The cemetery does not deserve your manuscript, your method, your melody, your medicine, your movement. The wealthiest land must not receive your unspent assignment. Make a decision right now. Not one gift, not one solution, not one sacred idea will be buried because confusion stalled your feet. You will die empty, not undecided, fulfilled, not filtered by fear, spent, not wasted. Say it with me. I refuse to fund the cemetery. Hear the spiritual capstone. Understanding is not a trick. It is a gift from the Creator to seekers. Wisdom cries in the streets, and those who ask receive. Ask boldly, sit quietly, listen intently. And when He speaks, steward it fiercely. The eagle is still our teacher. Wait upon the Lord. Mount up with wings. Run and not be weary. Walk and not faint. Your design is divine. Align with it and you will rise. Final charge, choose altitude over crowd, understanding over noise, obedience over delay. Decide, declare, and move. Don't negotiate with old habits. Outfly them. Don't audition for approval. You already have assignment. Put the step on the calendar. Put the sentence on the mirror. Put your face in the wind and lift. Say it with me one last time. Understanding is my inheritance. Direction is my discipline. Now go glide on purpose. Lead with clarity. And leave nothing in the ground when your season is done.